Hello and welcome. My name is Vex, and today we are talking about Zenless Zone Zero. The release day is finally upon us. I've been hyping up this game for what seems like an eternity, and it's finally here. It's finally here. And because, I don't know where you are in the world, but because of my time zone, I actually get it like a day early. A day early on the calendar. Whatever, we'll go over that later. This video is meant to be a sort of catch-all. I've tried to compile all of the information that I can to get everybody prepped and ready to go for the launch of Zenless. It's only a day away at this point at the time of recording, but there are going to be some like future news things, like we're going to talk about the secondary banners and things coming in the future. So if you're seeing this, not before the release of Zenless, there's probably some helpful information in it. Just check the chapters or the timestamps down below and see if there's something for you. I'm also making this video as a sort of, hey, I know a lot of people don't really know what's going on with Zenless. Maybe they missed out on some of the closed betas, or they weren't really paying attention to the very, very slow sort of marketing drip up until like a couple days ago. And maybe they're, Genshin mains or Star Rail mains and looking to try a new game and need a little bit more info as to what the crossover is going to be like, what the banners are going to be like, items and etc. So we're going to go over all that later on in this video. Lastly, before we get into it, I do have a giveaway currently going on. I on the Hoyo Lab have been doing giveaways for years now, and I'm doing a sort of launch Zenless specific giveaway to give away the sort of like Welkin monthly pass type equivalent that's going to exist in Zenless. So info on that towards the end of the video. All right, no more waiting. Let's get into it. The very, very first thing that I want to talk about is the marketing for this game. I found out recently that the designer of the game, the lead designer, was a graphic designer before he started working at Hoyo. And you can definitely see in the marketing, and we'll see in the various infographics that Hoyo and Zenless have made, that they really, really care about style. They really, really care about graphic design. And that's something that I also really, really care about and find super interesting. But they recently did a sort of marketing ploy. I think it was in Indonesia. And they had a bunch of graffiti artists go around and graffiti up some walls with Zenless art. And some of them are really, really good. I really like this Billy. Some really good action shots. Oh, it's fantastic. And like, I don't know anything about graffiti. I've never even tried to like use a spray paint can. But graffiti does actually play a big part in Zenless. There's actually some, as you do missions and as you do like boss battles, you'll get these spray cans that you can turn in for rewards. So you sort of just get them by doing things in the game, and you can turn them in and level up sort of your reputation with this one like graffiti group. And they give you rewards in game, like rolls or wishes and other things like that. So this is a really cool tie-in that I really appreciate. Let's get into, I apologize, this website has a billion ads. And I don't use Adblock. But anyway, let's get into the release date schedule. Depending on your time zone, it's going to be like wildly different, right? They plan on releasing on July 4th at 10 a.m. for their time zone, for Zenless's time zone, which is GMT +8. I am GMT -5. I'm East Coast time. So if you're West Coast, you're -8. If you're in Europe, you could be 0, depends on where you're at, or +1. So look at your specific time zone to really get this dialed in. But if you're on the East Coast, for us it's July 3rd at 9 p.m. This is also exactly when my weekly Wednesday, Weeb Wednesday stream goes live. And like every time there's like a Hoyo launch, it's always this time, and it's so great because as soon as I start my stream, we're ready to go, ready to play the game. And speaking of things that you should get ready to do, the pre-download is available. I've already downloaded the game. The pre-download for PlayStation, mobile, and PC are available. Do it now. You don't really want to wait until the game is released and then you have to download it and wait, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, however long. Plus, like if you play on mobile, you'd want to free up the space for it and get that downloaded, get it ready so you can jump right in. Okay, this is the release FAQ. This is more for players who may be unfamiliar with Hoyo games sort of in general or Zenless as a whole. It is going to exist on iOS, PlayStation, and PC, like we said before. It's going to follow the same patterns almost to a T across the board as like Genshin and Star Rail. In Genshin, there's only a few regions. So if you play on the Asian region, you cannot swap to the Europe region with the same character. So make sure when you create your initial region that you plan on playing as your main one, that you make it the one that you actually want. And, I remember back when I started playing Genshin, I had originally made my account to play with someone, and they were on the Asia server, and I'm in America, and we played like maybe once or twice, and then I was like, oh, I want to play with my American friends, so I had to make a whole new account or a whole new server, and I guess that Asia one still exists, but it's probably only like level 4. So make sure you pick the right server. The server will stay the same across platform. So in Hoyo games, you can play the same character. You can turn off your PC and open up your phone and play the same character that you were just playing, as long as it's on the same region. There is crossplay for that. You just need to make sure you're on the same region. Lastly, for the release stuff, if you're playing on PC, I would double check the specs that they recommend for PC. It's not as intense of a game as Genshin because there's not a whole open world going on. But my PC is, my personal build is like 7 years old at this point, and I was running it on like low and medium pretty well with like maybe 40 or 50 frames. Not the best. So it may require you to sort of, tweak some things. So just double check the system requirements. Sort of normal new game stuff. Okay, now we're on to the real juice. I was thinking about it, and I think I'm gonna make a separate video going over like character specific things. Like in Genshin and Star Rail, there are characters that have affinity types or element types, and there are good and bad affinity types with each other. In Genshin, you might have some combinations of elements that do certain things, and there's the same exact thing in Zenless, except there's different types. So I think I'm going to save that for a totally different video because that's a whole big thing to get into. This is just going to be sort of ground level information. I know I'm shoving this in the middle of the video, but I don't typically record videos, so bear with me. Anyway, let's talk about banners. Okay, this is the juicy stuff, right? This is the standard banner. It's called the Star-Studded Cast Permanent Banner. There's a lot going on with this banner, and it pulls from both Genshin and Star Rail, and honestly has like some pretty good systems in it. So, the big thing, the characters on launch that will be in this banner. Let's get their names. Nekomata, Lycan, Soldier 11, Rena, Grace, and Koleda. So 6 5-star characters or S rank characters, as well as the main cast of A rank or 4-star characters. We've got Onbi, Billy, Nicole, Ben, Korin, Anton, and Sukaku. So it works just like any other Hoyo banner in the way that Pity works, except with the introduction of Star Rail, they gave us a sort of max Pity counter. Once you roll 300 times on this banner, you can choose the S rank or 5-star character that you want. So maybe you have 4 of them, and you can't decide, or you're hoping to get maybe Soldier 11 this whole time. You haven't gotten Soldier 11. You can choose Soldier 11 to get guaranteed. Pretty easy peasy. The banner though has a couple different confusing things going on. This was first showcased in the closed beta test 3, and when I first saw it, I was like, my mind was spinning. I didn't know what exactly was going on. But the first 50 pulls you do on this banner, this first line here, they are 20% off. So this is the 10 pulls, but it only costs you 8 pulls. Let's actually get the, what are they called? Polychromes. We'll go over this a little bit later. Where's my page? So instead of 10, so it normally costs 10 polychromes, or, you know, what are they called in Star Rail? Oh God, I just had it up. The special passes, special pass or intertwined fate, whatever. It costs 8, and that's typical for like the beginner banner of any gacha game, especially a Hoyo game. The first 50 wishes are discounted, so you save 10 wishes overall if you do the whole thing. So that 20% off times 5 just means that the first 50 rolls are, or the first 5 10 packs are discounted. Okay, so it's a total of 50 rolls. You are guaranteed a 5-star or S rank character somewhere in those 50 rolls. I believe, I could be very, very wrong, but I believe that even if you get a 5-star character, you still get the discounted rolls. I'm pretty sure that happened to me in the beta. Could be totally wrong. Maybe I'll make a pin comment once I know for sure. But as I don't have access to the banner, I can't actually test that. I believe that's what happened to me. It was like 6 months ago. Bear with me. It's got other typical banner things, like every 10 pull you get a 4-star at the very least. It could be, I think we've also got, we've got W engines on here too, which are like the equivalent of weapons in Zenless. We'll go over that in a little bit. It's got weapons, like standard weapons, and it's got standard characters. From what I understand, you can only target and pick a character. You can't target and pick after 300 wishes a 5-star engine or weapon. A little strange. I wish maybe that was different. We'll see what's up. I could imagine there's a standard banner for weapons or something. Like that could be interesting, but who knows? Anyway, every temple you get a 4-star, guaranteed. The only 3-star things in the game, or B rank, are W engines. They're weapons, sort of the standard 3-star, like blue weapons. And then every 90 rolls, you are guaranteed 1 S rank or 5-star character. And it actually shows you, like, while you're rolling, it shows you the countdown. So if you use 1 roll, it'll change all these, it'll update all these numbers to show you the time until your next 5-star. So max pity on this banner is 90 before any S rank, and you get a bunch of discounted rolls. Some of the ads on this website are out of this world. All right, next up, before we get to the real juice, we're going to talk about Bangboos. Okay, Bangboos are their own banner as well. They have their own Bangboo rolling currency. I don't know if this one actually has it on it. It doesn't. Fantastic. I can't remember what they're called. We will find out very soon because I have it up here with the promo code. Where are we at? So Bangboos are, so your party in Zenless isn't 4 people. In Genshin you have 4 people on your party. In Star Rail you have 4 people on your party. In Zenless you have 3. But you also get the option to bring along in your mission a Bangboo. It's sort of like a half character. You don't get to control the character, but your Bangboo will help out in combos, and it will come out and attack, or it'll attack passively, or it'll give you passive effects. And there's a ton of different, I think there's like 20 or a little bit more Bangboos on launch, but they do have their own banner. And they do have the like rates up and whatnot, though these rotate as well. It's kind of the same rules as a regular banner that we're used to, except the max pity for the S rank Bangboo is 80 instead of 90. So for the Bangboo banner, I believe the first banner is Butler is the rate up, and oh shoot, they might not go with the same ones that were in the beta, but it's, you know, a 5-star Bangboo and then a couple of 4-star ones that are rate up as well, because there's a bunch of different rarities for these as well. You can like level them up and do whatever. Who knows which ones they'll pick? I guess it's not actually known, but I think it was like Devil Boo. Butler was the S rank. Oh gosh, there was one more, maybe Bagboo. I think it was 1 S and 2 4 stars, 2 A ranks. Whatever the case, these are gonna rotate. You get the Bangboo rolling currency any way you would get a normal roll. You get these, I think, a little bit slower though. But there's a promo code that we're going to go over in a little bit that's going to give us a bunch of these to get our first S rank Bangboo. Boopon. They're called Boopons. How could I forget? The Bangboo Boopon. Okay, so we know the release characters. We know the characters that we're going to get for free. These are the ones that we've been seeing all over marketing and things like that. I think we even get Anton. We get like 5 or 6 characters for free throughout playing. Whatever. What we care about are the banners. And if we should get these characters, right? Ellen is the very first banner. And if we're thinking about comparing it to Star Rail or Genshin, I wasn't around for Genshin's first banner. I didn't play the game, but I did play Star Rail. And Seela was absolutely busted. Like, she's still really, really good. And if you find her on like a support character, you definitely pick her, right? So far, from what I was able to play with Ellen, could be different because I played in the beta. Ellen isn't that level of busted, but is still really cool design, really cool character. Obviously, S rank characters are going to do tons of damage and be really fun to play with. She's the first 5-star. These have the same time frames as Genshin and Star Rail banners. Right now, there's only one rate up banner for limited banners. It's not like Star Rail where there's 2 or Genshin where there's 2 now. It's just her. It works just like every other banner in Hoyo's past. Even the star-studded banner that we just talked about. 10 rolls gets you a 4-star. 90 rolls maximum gets you a 5-star. But it only gets you a 5-star. They do still have the 50-50 pity system. So if it's your first time getting a 5-star on her banner, it could be her, or it could be the standard 5 stars that we went over in the previous banner. You still have to win your 50-50 to get the character. We do get a bunch of free rolls starting the game, but you still kind of have to get lucky or get your 5-star early to get out of that pity. It is what it is. Beyond her, there are a couple of 4 stars that are increased chance to get. Anton and Sukaku. I guess we don't get Anton for free. Sukaku, an interesting type of character. She has changed drastically throughout the closed beta, so she could be even different on launch. I wasn't impressed. She's got a cool design, but her in her Japanese voice. She screams Kokodayo all the time. And I just have like flashbacks to Arknights and Kokodayo, so not for me. But Anton's pretty cool. But Ellen, I remember being fantastic. And of course, there's also, you could get 4-star characters that are not the rate ups, or you could get 4-star W engines for the weapons and the B rank engines, of course. So if you're pulling for Ellen, good luck. I think she's fantastic. She's really cool. She's like a shark lady. She's got really cool weapons. Love her design. Love it. Okay, so before we move on to her W engine, I did find on the Hoyo Lab Zenless Zone Zero official page, I found her character profile, and here's like more what I was talking about with their graphics and stuff. Like, man, I love it. It's just fantastic. So I'm not going to talk too much about her attributes and her, specialty, whether she's support, attacking, or whatever. I'm not going to talk about that stuff until the next video I make on element types, attack types, ability types, all that stuff. But they showcase some of her animations, like her basic attack animation and her weapon. Her weapon looks cool. It looks, it's like a giant shark tooth. And her ultimate, like a frozen shark ultimate. Man, it's so good. And they showcase a little bit of her combos too. She pairs really well with a couple of characters. I think she's going to be a no-brainer. I'm going to be rolling for her. Definitely. Okay, lastly for banners. There's so many banners. There's so much stuff going on. These are the W engine banners. They work very similarly to banners in Genshin and Star Rail. W engines are just weapons. They're the same as light cones. They're the same as weapons in Genshin. The banner is very similar to some extent to Star Rail. Not so much Genshin. You don't have the, oh, I need to pick which W engine I might want, and whatever 5-star I get is going to be towards that. Like in Genshin, there's like a, you've got to get 3 potentially to get like the one you wanted. The weapon banner on Genshin's a lie. Don't roll on that banner. Anyway, the W engine banner is like a real banner. Every 10 rolls you get a 4-star. Every 80 you get a 5-star. But again, you've got the 50-50. Where are they all? You've got the 50-50. Oh, you might get the banner one, the rate up, or you might get the standard S rank W engines. These are, it is a weapon banner, so you're more likely to get weapons, but you can get characters, just like in every other game. If you roll for a light cone and you get, your 600th Sampo, you can cry in a corner like I do. The weapon for... So every W engine that's A rank or S rank are character specific or like role specific, and they're all super unique. They're all super cool. And Ellen's is like a shark, right? That makes sense. I'm super pumped for it. I'm hoping that I can get, and it's just like in Star Rail, where light cones are not like, you don't need to keep Jingyuan's light cone on him, right? You can move it to a different character, but it works best with him. Like these W engines are made with their character in mind. You can use them elsewhere, but it really boosts the character that they're made for. So I'm going to be trying to go for her Deep Sea Visitor W engine, and I think I've got it up here. We can take a look. They've done some animations for this W engine. Oh man, they've got like snorkeling tubes. Oh, it's fantastic. Again, I'm not going to go over the details about why it's good or whatever. We'll go over that in another video. Maybe I'll do that live on Wednesday. But these are going to rotate at the same time as the standard rate up or sorry, not standard, the limited time rate up banner. So like Ellen, every 20 days they change over. This is going to change over. Easy peasy. Jamming out to the the Persona 4 soundtrack. It's so good. Anyway, let's talk about the next banner. This is the Juyun banner. So on the 24th, so the game releases on the 4th of July. On the 24th, when the banners rotate, she's going to come out. Juyun. I didn't get a chance to play when her banner rotated into the game in the beta. So I have no personal experience with this character, but just like in Genshin, just like in Star Rail, there's a way to test the characters before you pull for them. There's the training grounds sort of thing where you get a showcase of the character, you get some free wishes out of it, and you get to see if they jam with you. It's the same banner. It's a limited banner. It just rotates characters. The rates up are going to be Ben and Nicole. Nicole gets particularly good at high constellations or eidolons or whatever you want to call them. So the more copies of Nicole you get, the better. Ben is called Ben Bigger, so obviously you want more, so he's bigger. This banner, I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to wait until the tests come out because, like I said, I didn't play with her. But she's part of a new faction. So there's factions in Zenless. We can go over at some point. Like Nicole, Billy, and Onbi are part of the bunnies. Jesus, I'm so bad with names. They're in their own faction, and characters in a specific faction adhere to sort of like an aesthetic look or a philosophy. And she's part of this like new Eridu police force group. There's a couple more characters that have been revealed to be part of that, and they're pretty cool. And she's like kind of our first taste at that faction. So I'm excited. I remember seeing some of her animations, and her fighting style is pretty good. I couldn't find a post that showcased that, but maybe we'll find one a little bit closer to the banner. And of course, once the character banner rotates, the W engine banner rotates, the weapon banner. And for her, we've got the Riot Suppressor Mark 6. Not too keen on the design of this one. It's not as fun as like a shark, right? But it is designed specifically for her. So, maybe if I get lucky on some early rolls and have some left over, I'll try for this. But not high up on the list, just as like an aesthetic type of thing. Okay, promo codes. I realized that I royally screwed up, and I had to re-record this because I conflated two different like currency types. So the polychromes are the essential, the same as Primo Gems and Stellar Jade. We'll get into that in just a sec. But this promo code is going to last for about a week, a little bit over a week. It's ZZZ free 100. We get 300 Primo Gems, essentially, a bunch of money, a bunch of level up materials, a bunch of weapon materials for free. Super great. But we also get a bunch of login rewards. There's like a, level up your character progress stuff. There's login 7 days to get boopons for the boopons. That's such a fun word to say. Boopons for your Bangboo Banner, and so these right here are the actual rolls that you do. 7-day login for this. I believe we're gonna get in total 100 free rolls and 80 rolls on the Bangboo Banner. So that's going to be essentially, at the very least, one guaranteed 5-star character and one guaranteed S-rank Bangboo. Okay, so maybe you want to pause the video and take a look at what the Genshin to Zenless or Star Rail to Zenless currencies are. So there is a stamina system. So there is like resin and trailblazing power and things like that you need to worry about. There's character level ups. There's character ascensions. There's also W engine or like weapon level ups and upgrades and things like that. Artifacts or relics are called drive discs. They look really cool in game. I really appreciate them. The biggest thing I'm still trying to wrap my head around are the actual rolls. So there's this sort of like black and white master tape, which is the standard roll. Those are the bad rolls, right? The standard banner. Then there's the encrypted tape, which is the colorful one, and those are the good rolls. Those are the limited banner ones that you want to save for the limited banners. Excuse me. It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment because everything is, I don't know, it's so different. Like I made the adjustment in Star Rail pretty easy, but still getting used to the Zenless stuff. Okay, trying to keep this video as short as possible. I know it's gone on for a long time. I appreciate you, but if you've made it this far, I am currently running a giveaway. So it's a 3 times giveaway for the Zenless Zone Zero launch, which launches for me tomorrow at the time of recording, but officially on like July 4th for that time zone. It's going to be for 3 of the Welkin Moon Rail Pass, or whatever the Zenless one is going to be called. It's the monthly pass where every day you log in and you get some stuff. So in this one, you'll be able to log in and get some polychromes in Zenless or the Welkin in Genshin or whatever. But only one of these is available to give away on this post. So this post I'm going to have linked down below. It's on my Hoyo page. The other 2 are going to be given away live on my stream. It's only available until the launch of Zenless. I will be doing more in the future. I've done a ton in the past. I use Codashop. It's all legit. It's all Hoyo sort of official. I love doing these kinds of things, and we get to have some cool discussions in the comments of like what characters people are looking forward to, what's everybody saving for. Obviously, I'm going to be opening my wallet as much as I can for Ellen day one. We'll see what we get, and that's going to do it for me, everyone. So I'm planning on doing a couple of interesting things with Zenless in the future. Zenless is definitely my Hoyo game of choice. I really like Star Rail. I liked Genshin. I haven't played Genshin in a long time, especially since Star Rail came out, especially since more news for Zenless has come out. This game just speaks to me on so many levels. So I'm going to be doing weekly news videos as new things come out, new info comes out, where we go over new official news, maybe some fan art that I found, fan art that I'm doing myself, or cosplays or things like that. I do definitely like the sort of weekly roundup type stuff, as well as like character bios, graphics for how to improve your character, teams, and things like that. I have mentioned a couple times this video about a sort of beginner-friendly, Genshin Star Rail friendly crossover sort of element type of video where we go over the different element types in the game, what they mean, what they're good for. It's also a really good exercise, I guess, for myself to to like learn the stuff like officially and be able to teach about it. So I'm excited for that. If you've made it this far, I appreciate you. Make sure to like the video if you liked it and subscribe if you want to see more. Until next time, bye.